Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia. Sorry, I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the Young and the Restless edition. Today is Wednesday, July 6th, 2022, and let's just get right into it. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 7.5. It was okay. Let's start off with Summer and Chloe. So, no, Sally and Chloe. What am I talking about, Summer? So, Sally calls up, Chloe calls up Sally. It might have been vice versa. But anyways, Sally calls up Chloe and she says, "I'm sorry about having a runoff. I had meetings and things I had to get to." And Chloe's like, "That's okay." She said, "Are you free now? I can talk." And she said, "Yeah. Actually, can you come here because this isn't something I want to say over the phone." So Chloe is like, "Okay, of course I can come over." So Chloe goes over to Sally's office and she's offered the CEO. I'm not gonna hold you long on it. She's offered the COO position. And Chloe's just like, wow, because that is not what she was expecting. Cause she said she is trying to, think about keeping her options open. So that's why she wanted to talk to Sally, because Sally did say something in the effects of, you know, change is good. Maybe you need a change. And she said, but that's not what she was thinking about. And Sally just tells her she has confidence in her. You're smart, savvy, and scrappy. And I know because she was like, I run small little fashion and everything. She was like, you need to challenge yourself, and this would be a great challenge for you. I honestly think Chloe would be great for this job as well. That she and Sally would do a wonderful job at Newman Media. So, anyways, all of this is going on, and Sally is just like, come work for me and get the support system that you need, and we can work well together. By I let you going off with um Chelsea and doing your own lump. She doesn't care about that. She's not holding any grudges on that. But Chloe did have a concern about Adam. She says he's 100% behind me. It's all good on this end. So speaking of Adam, he does come in while they're in their meeting, and Chelsea. Lord, y'all forgive me about these names. And Chloe says, you've given me something to think on. I will definitely be getting back to you, but I got to make sure, she has to see if this is going to work out with her and Chelsea before she does anything drastic. And I understand that. So then Sally was like, tell me what's going on. And he was like, this is Adam and Sally talking, and he was like, my family thinks that they could just use me and abuse me and just treat me any kind of way. They're sitting there talking about loyalty and family and united front. Like, I'm not even standing there, because Adam, they were not including you in that. And he was like, I'm not even standing there. So that takes us to what was going on in the Newman office. So Victoria is there and everything, and Nick and Nikki and Adam and Victor finally comes in, and she tells her dad, she gives him a hug, and she tells them all, I'm sorry that I had to make y'all think that I wasn't with the family, that I was turning my back on the family. She said, but I needed my plan to work. And so she tells them how she went away with Ashlyn to make him think that she was, turning her back on the family, that she was all in with him. And then how she got him to put to her, she was glad that Nick told Victor about her plans to start her business with Ashlyn, because she knew what her dad was going to do and that he would stop the investors, and she was grateful for all that. And Nikki and Nick were both like, "Oh, we're so glad because we thought you were going to be upset." She said, "No, who knows my dad's moves better than I do?" We're like, okay. So then she says, uh, "Excuse me." So then she tells them that, okay, so once he stopped all the investors, Victor, then she told Ashlyn, we should invest our money. So she said, I put 250 million of my money in an account. He put 250 of his money. And then once he put his money on, I transferred it out of that corporate account and put it in my own personal account. She said, Dad, you can have that 250 million back anytime you want to. Go and hand that right over to Adam, since he didn't never get that 500 million. Hand that to him. But anyways, and so Victor is just so proud, and they were like, so how did Ashlyn react? And she said, oh, he was devastated. He couldn't believe that I outmaneuvered him, and he couldn't believe, because Ashlyn, at the end of the day, he really thought he had a hold on Victoria, and he didn't, not the way he thought he did. But she said he couldn't believe all of that or whatever. So he was this, he was devastated. She said, I've never seen him look like that. She said, and yeah, I think he loved me as much as he could, but it wasn't enough to negate the what he had done to me. And so that was her thing. And and so they're all like, oh, we're family, oh, we're together. And Adam said, you know what, we need to talk about what this is going to do for the company, like the positions. And Victor, oh, we'll talk about that. Like, I hate the way he treats Adam. Like, he literally talks to Adam like he's a dog. Like, the way he treats him, he talks to him like he's a dog. Don't worry about, like, he pats him on his head. Don't worry about that. We'll get to that later. Right now, my golden child is talking. You know what I mean? And so Adam is just like, you know what? Um, I have more important things to do. And he leaves out and slams the door, and they're all like, woo, because they don't care. So then Victoria, they said, Nick said you wanted to make some changes. And so she says, well, Dad, I want you to be my advisor. Like, who wouldn't want you as an advisor? Mom, I want you to be right beside me, I guess, as CEO or co-COO or COO, but I'm thinking CEO. And then Nick, she wants him to come back into the team, come back to the family, which Nick has already been thinking about this anyways. And I'm like, this is so, ugh. This is so, ugh. Like, she gets to do this and then come back and it's like, oh, y'all made a whole announcement and stuff that you were making Adam CEO. Like, y'all not, Victor, this whatever Adam does with Ashley, y'all deserve it. All of y'all deserve it. Yeah, whatever Adam does, because it looks like he's gonna start working with Ashley. Whatever he does, y'all deserve it. You 1000% deserve it, because you cannot keep treating a human being like this. Like, you cannot keep treating Adam like this. You use him to help your family, but then when it comes to anything that helps him or anything for him, it's like, oh, go to the side. Go, okay, we're done using you. Go back to your corner. Y'all not right for that. So, and especially like he's had all this thing going with Sally and promoting her, and then she's trying to bring Chelsea in. Like, all of this is going on, and now Victoria's back, and it's just like all of it is up in the air now. Like, I don't understand it. Let's move on, y'all. So then we see, okay, so Jack is at the house with Allie, and they're talking. He's got her internship. She's gonna start the next day, and he tells, she gets a text from Noah, and he's like, I'm glad about Noah. And he was like, for selfish reasons, that he's glad she's settling down and forming connections and bond and roots, because he wants her to stay. And she gives him a hug. Allie and Jack have a nice little relationship, and they're getting to know each other. And so he tried to talk to her about Noah, and she's like, "No, grandfather, I don't want to. Like, this is not a conversation I want to have with you, or whatever." So it's cute. And so then we see that she ends up telling him she's gonna meet. No, he ends up telling her, just have fun. She said, "No, I'm gonna be all focused on work." He was like, "No, I don't want you to do that. Like, I want you to have a work-life balance, have a life too, and have fun and everything." So he ends up leaving, and she and Noah text, and he says, "Meet me at Crimson Lights, and then we'll see how the day goes." And she's like, "Okay, cool." So she goes to Crimson Lights to meet up with Noah. Now Jack goes to meet up with Kyle and Summer, because they're supposed to have this big meeting and everything. They're supposed to have a meeting about Jabot and Marquetti and everything. So we see that Diane and Phyllis run to each other in the park, and Diane is like, "Oh, fancy running! We keep running into each other." And Phyllis was like, "Well, you came to the club, so it's not like it was a coincidence. You literally came to my business." So, and she says, "I'm so glad that I get to use the club and everything." And Phyllis was like, "You could thank me for that and everything. I'm not gonna hold you long on this." Bottom line is, Diane was once again um being toxic and trying to drag a reaction out of Phyllis. And she did for a point, but then Phyllis said, "You know what?" Because she was just like, oh my gosh, everything is working out. Jack is, me and Jack are growing closer. Kyle, no, excuse me, Kyle and I are growing closer. Jack sees that I'm trying to change, and even Summer and my family is the sport. I got a job. Everything is so great. And, her throwing up that whole Jack thing about, we're really trying to form a connect. We're starting to form a connection. And he's starting to trust me. So Felix is like, Jack will never be in a romantic relationship with you. He'll never want you that way. You're delusional. And she said, Phyllis, I said nothing about romance. But I know you're just upset because you ruined things with Jack and he'll never want to be with you again. I even heard your daughter say how you ruined things with Jack and everything. And she said, I overheard it when I was coming out of the facilities at the Grand Phoenix. And Phyllis is like, Diane, you're spying on me. And I said, now, Phyllis, what you just spying on Diane? But she says, Diane, you're spying on me. And she says, no, I just overheard it or whatever. And so Diane continues to try to get a rise out of Phyllis, and Phyllis is like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go to your level or whatever. It's I'm not doing it. And so Diane keeps going on about how Michael, she has a friend with Michael and Summer and her family, and she has a job at Marquette. She just keeps going, and Phyllis is just finding, like, she was like, everything is working out for me. I have everything that I'm wanting, in life, and all of those things, and you're just upset because you don't have it. Like, you don't have Jack the way you thought you were going to have it. You messed that up, and he never wants to be with you, and all that kind of stuff she was telling Phyllis. And so then Diane leaves, and Phyllis is like, I will never lose. I will never lose. And then we see Jack is there, and Phyllis is like, you see how how she was talking to me, how she's all slick at the mouth. I'm paraphrasing. How she's all slick at the mouth and everything, and how y'all act like you don't see it. And you know what Jack told her? I caught half of that conversation. I don't know what you did to provoke her. And she was like, really, Jack? Really? She didn't feel it. Like, she was irate at this point. She was like, why is it that Diane gets the benefit of the doubt? The woman who lied about being dead, who left and everything, who how she's treated me. She gets the benefit of the doubt, but I don't. And Phyllis just told Jack, listen, one day you're going to regret this. You're going to see what I see about Diane, and you're going to want to come back to me and want to make things right. And you're going to regret how you ended things with us. And I'm not going to be sitting around waiting. It's going to be too late. And then Phyllis walks off or whatever. Excuse me. So then she goes to the Crimson. She's at Crimson Lights, and she sees Allie. And I said, Phyllis, please don't do this. But she tells Allie, tell me about everything. Tell me about the Abbotts. How I want to know everything. I said, Phyllis, please don't do this. But then, so that's it with them. So then we see that Kyle and Summer met earlier, and they talk about, Phyllis and Jack's relationship. And he's apprehensive about if he feels like Jack should give Phyllis another chance and everything. And Summer's just like, I know she didn't mean, she loves him at the end of the day. And he's just like, I don't know if Dad should, give her another chance. They should be forgiven or whatever. But they do talk about Diane and how they feel like the war between their moms is just starting. So then Diane comes up or whatever, right? And she sits down, and they let her know that for right now that they're going to be working out the Jabot um enterprise. They're going to be working out the Jabot building. And she says, oh yes, oh, it'll be so nice to be in that building, close to Jack, and just being, working out with all the Jabot and the team members. And Kyle and Summer look at each other. This is her plan the whole time. We've been saying this since day one when she first came back, that yeah, she wanted to get to know Kyle, but she really is there for Jack. And so they're looking at each other like, oh my gosh. And so then Jack comes or whatever, and he sits down, and they're like, Jack, are you all right? And he was like, yeah, I just I'm sorry, something came up. And Diane was like, yeah, we were wondering why you were late. And so he looking at her all suspect or whatever. But he's looking at her all suspect, but at the end of the day, you still give her the benefit of the doubt. So you could say those looks, Jack. And so then we see that, they tell him about um, wanting to make an announcement about Jabot acquiring Marchetti. And Diane says, well, I think we should, get it, spread a little gossip to a high end fashion um, site and let them go with that, so that when the buzz it so the buzz builds, and when it's announced that Jabot did acquire Marchetti, it will be this huge thing. And Summer agrees and Kyle agrees, and Jack says, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. And she was like, oh, just being with you guys, and this job, I'm finally setting in and settling into the city. Everything is going so perfect and everything. And Jack is still just looking at her like, and Kyle and Summer are looking as well, just like, I don't know. But I mean, y'all did this, and that was the Young and the Restless today, guys. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anyone. Yep, that was the Young and the Restless today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video.